in aid. So this weekend, a media outlet based in Qatar claimed that the White House conveyed a high-stakes proposal to Egypt via the president of the UAE. Now, who visited Cairo. So get this. This is like Jason Bourne level stuff, right? I mean, we're like communicating a secret message via the president of the UAE going into Cairo, meeting with the Egyptians. They handed over Trump's message to Egypt, which gives Egypt two choices. Number one, accept hundreds of thousands of refugees from Gaza and receive a significant boost in U.S. aid money. In other words, we'll pay you billions more than we're currently paying you in Egypt to take hundreds of thousands of refugees from Gaza. Or your other choice is turn it down and we'll give you a huge middle finger, and you'll potentially see another country take in hundreds of thousands of Palestinian refugees, and they will get billions of dollars, while we will basically, I mean, who knows, he didn't say this, but sanction you. Well, who knows what other retributions Egypt will face as a result of turning this down. Their currency, by the way, the Egyptian pound, is virtually worthless. If you talk to Egyptian locals, they'll tell you that most of the transactions are happening in US dollars or Russian rubles. In fact, if you go to certain towns, as I have, and I've talked to individuals who've told me that most of the transactions, there's more US dollars in these towns than there are Egyptian pounds. There's more Russian rubles in these towns than there are Egyptian pounds being transacted here, which is remarkable when you think about it. So they almost have no choice. So go ahead, Philip.
Well, I want to see if my math is adding up here, but we're offering Egypt more money to take refugees who are made refugees because we're giving Israel money and bombs to bomb Gaza. So we are literally paying for the problem and the solution. I just want to make sure that I've got that clear.
Yes, and let me take it one step further. Why? Why are we doing that? Why are we going to pay billions to Egypt for them to take Palestinian refugees? A problem we didn't, it doesn't involve us, but we've only involved ourselves in it. So therefore it does now involve us. If we didn't involve ourselves in this, we wouldn't have to pay them billions of dollars. I don't know where this blank check is coming from.
Well, you can unravel that even further, because if we didn't support Israel, Israel would not have the weaponry to continue to bomb Palestinians. And so, again, this is not a chicken or egg phenomenon. This is the United States at the inception of the problem, trying to then clean it up at the end as well.
Yeah, I mean, and Philip, I think, made that point about the weapons, and it's so true here. But, I mean, Egypt's on the verge of collapse. They can't handle this. So you'll recall months ago here on the show, we talked about this. We reported how a corrupt Egyptian businessman was being paid millions to start construction on an open-air concentration camp. We covered this at the time in Rafah, just across the border from Gaza. Here are the construction cranes where this was being built. Now, construction started on this massive walled open-air prison on the Egyptian side of the border. This is Egyptian land. It's being built by the same guys that are about to profit handsomely off of Gaza reconstruction as well. So these same guys are going to be making money, the Egyptian construction team in Gaza. Once that's done, they're going to go in there and they're going to make billions of dollars off of Gaza. But they're also making lots of money on the other side, building basically an open-air concentration camp. So they're basically profiting off of both sides. That's how this works. Here you can see these cranes and the construction that began. This has been shared by multiple news outlets. What's so fascinating about this is that this is on the Egyptian side of the border wall, what you're seeing here. And what you're seeing here is Rafah, okay, on the Egyptian side. But what's amazing about this is that after the 2005 Philadelphia Accord, Israel was given control over this area. So yes, it's Egypt, but Israel controls it. Meaning, yes, the IDF will have surveillance and logistical control over this patch of land. Why? So who or what do you think will be living on this patch of land? Right? Palestinians, of course. And this giant open-air prison will be watched by Israeli surveillance. So even though it's in Egypt. So, I mean, couldn't you do the very same thing in their own homes? I mean, that's already what they're doing anyway. But now you need to do it in Egypt?
Or if you're going to keep an eye on them like this, let them into Israel.
right? Wouldn't that be
If
better?
they're innocent civilians. Has
Yeah, if they're-
anybody floated that idea?
Yeah, if these are innocent like civilians and you're really trying to help these refugees, then welcome them in. Even CNN had the balls to expose this construction. Egypt is building a new walled buffer zone more than 2 miles wide on the Gaza border, satellite images show. And they took it a step further because the man building